What's going on, guys? It's Kyle. Welcome to the Stock Goat YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to be covering the SoFi stock. We are continuing to count the days down, less than 1 week away from the SoFi earnings. If you include the weekend, we're less than like 5 days away from the SoFi earnings. This is going to be a monster quarter for growth, members, products all across the board. SoFi has invested so much into their business for marketing, and those expenses are high right now, and that's why you're seeing profitability not really take off yet like a company like Robinhood. But these expenses and this marketing campaign that we've been doing with TGL, NBA, NFL, and of course the Country Music Festival, these are going to pay off pretty soon. Once SoFi decides to scale back a little bit on the marketing in the next upcoming quarters, you will see profitability really start to ramp up. And that's when you get into the potential of 2026, $800 to $900 million profitability. Look at a company like Robinhood right now, about 1.2 billion. 1.2 billion profit, compare it to 900 million. That's not that far away. And that's why I believe you're going to see SoFi reach the stock price level anywhere in the $50 to $75 range inside of 2026. So in this video today, I'm going to give you my revenue prediction, my EPS prediction, and my member prediction. I'm also going to give you what I believe the stock is going to hit the day before earnings. So that will be the Monday close. And then of course, what I believe the SoFi stock will hit after earnings. I'm not talking about the day of because, I just think there's too much volatility for the day of, but I'm going to tell you what I believe the stock's going to hit by the end of the week on Friday. So earnings Tuesday, and then I'm going to give you my stock prediction by Friday. So that's what we're going to be covering in this video. And of course, guys, don't take these projections into your investment analysis on, what you're planning on doing with adding or selling your shares. Take this video with a grain of salt because I'm going to be giving you the bull case scenario, of course. So if you find any of this information useful, be sure to smash the like button, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. Let's try and get the channel past 30,000 subs. We've only been covering one stock on this channel, the SoFi stock. It is really hard to grow a YouTube channel covering one stock. But guys, I really enjoy covering SoFi because I believe this stock is going to pay off very soon for all the investors that stuck around, and people are going to absolutely destroy the S&P 500 when it comes to the returns that this stock is going to have. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, let's take a look at the SoFi stock today. You can see we had a flash crash this morning at 9:30 a.m. We, boom, sold off. 20 minutes later, down 5.6%. And then we just gradually bounced back from the low level of about 1990 and finished the day right around $21. And you can see we're up a little bit in the after hours. So that was a flash crash that happened out of nowhere. That might have shaken out a lot of the day traders and penny flippers that were waiting to get on earnings. And it looks like the market makers made a big move. And it looks like some people came in and bought the stock up because we're pushing over $21 in the after hours right now. And look at the price action the past couple of days. You could see 3 days in a row, we've been getting the cool off, the RSI cool off. The stock has been red 3 days straight. Look at that. 1%, 3%, 0.85%. So the stock is cooling off. I personally wouldn't mind another 2 red days heading into this upcoming earnings. I want the stock to be as suppressed as possible before this earnings because right now, understand, there's a 95% chance that we are going to sell off on this SoFi earnings when you look at the last 10 earnings reports, okay? That can definitely happen because SoFi just always gets targeted and just gets destroyed. We have sell rating after sell rating come out. Short sellers increase their shorts. I mean, it just doesn't stop. So understand there's a 95% chance SoFi will sell off on earnings, but what's going to happen when we break that story and it finally happens and we launch after an earnings report and we break all-time highs at $28? It's something that I'm not really worried about. I'm not, doing short-term calls on this earnings, and I'm just going to let it play out because I believe the story will change soon enough. So that's just something to take into consideration. Now, what I want to do before we do these earnings predictions, I want to cover the last 4 earnings reports, the Q2 2024, the Q3 2024, the Q4 2024, and the Q1 2025, and just show you guys how SoFi is beating these analysts' expectations on top line revenue and bottom line EPS, to just show you each and every quarter how they are performing. And then that's what I'm going to do before I give you guys my prediction on revenue and EPS. So take a look at this right here. You can see the revenue came in at 598 million for this Q2 2024, and the expectations were 565. They beat it by $33 million. That is a really, really big beat, 33 million bucks. And you can see the actual EPS right here was 1 cent versus consensus of 1 cent. So basically they just met their expectations on EPS. And here we go. We got Q3 2024. Revenue came in at 697. The expected revenue was 631. They beat this estimate by $65 million. A home run on that beat. And you can see EPS was actually 5 cents versus a consensus of 4 cents. So they beat it by 1 cent. And here on the market beat, it didn't give us the Q4, but the revenue estimate was 678 million. And you can see SoFi came in at 739 million for the Q4, which was a $56 million beat on the analyst expectations. And the EPS consensus was 4 cents. They came in at 5 cents, beating it by 1 cent. And we have the Q1 2025 report. Revenue came in at 763. Expectations were 739. So a nice little beat at $23 million. But the EPS actually was 6 cents. Consensus was 3 cents. So they beat the EPS by 3 cents for Q1. So you can see SoFi was all over the place on these last 4 reports, but still beating expectations top to bottom. So take a look at the revenue beats the last 4 quarters. The Q2 was 33 million. The Q3 was 65 million. The Q4 was 56 million. And the Q1 was 23 million. Then we go over to earnings, EPS beats. Q2, they met expectations, beat by 0. Estimate was 1 cent. They hit 1 cent. Q3, they beat expectations by 1 cent. Estimate was 4 cents. They hit 5 cents. Q4, they beat expectations by 1 cent. Estimate was 4 cents, hit 5 cents. And then Q1, they beat expectations by 3 cents. Estimate 3, and then they hit 6. So that is how I'm coming to my predictions. I review the last 4 reports just to see how they're doing on top line and bottom line. And we all know that, Q1 is usually a very, very soft, quarter for revenue. And that's why you got that 23 million beat. But look at the Q3 and the Q4 were just monsters. And then you can see it really picked up Q2, Q3, and Q4. So guys, I believe this is going to be a big, big quarter for revenue just because of all the marketing they put in. And you can see they're getting excited for lower rates. So you can see student loans are picking up. Personal loans are still high. Mortgages are starting to pick up. So the Q2 revenue estimate right now is 804 million by analysts on Wall Street. I think they're going to hit a $50 million beat. This is exactly what we need to get this stock moving. And that's going to put us at $854 million in revenue. Just a monster quarter for top line revenue. If you go from, 770 to 850, that's like a $75 million jump quarter over quarter. The Q2 estimate right now, EPS is 6 cents. We did see them beat by 3 cents last quarter, but I believe they're going to beat it by 2 cents, coming at 8 cents. And EPS is going to be right around $92 million. And you can see if you take the outstanding shares of about 1.1 billion, that gives you a $92 million net income, 8 cents EPS. I would love to see this break over 100 million, but we just have to wait and see. This is still a beat from their guidance of about 60 to $70 million. Now here's my guess for price action, guys. We know that SoFi hit $22.75 a couple of days ago, 4 days ago, before we had these 3 red days in a row. I think we are going to break over $22 before earnings on the close of Monday. We'll be in the $22 range, I personally believe. And then after earnings, I'm not saying what's going to happen on the earnings date. We could get a pop and a sell-off, but I believe this earnings report, the guidance, and if we get some loan platform deals, I think the stock is going to make a big run by Friday, and I think we are going to clear all-time highs of $28. $28. That would technically be like a 25% run from about $22. So those are my predictions. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm very excited for this upcoming quarter. And last but not least, we have members. I believe SoFi is going to clear 840,000 members. That'll be a new all-time high. We are slowly building up to that 1 million member quarter mark. And you can see SoFi all across the board is going to see records top to bottom. I just believe this is going to be the big quarter that, Wall Street has been waiting for, and they're going to give SoFi the green light. We're already qualified for S&P 500 right now. That's why we got to break into this $28, $30 range so we never come back and, not meet the requirements going under the market cap. So we just need to continue to go higher. Be sure to smash the like button, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. We'll be keeping you updated daily. Hope you guys have a great day.